seems like Gucci Mane is super excited like he was for Pooh Shiesty when he came home for Foogiano. Gucci Mane took it to his story to post a picture of Foogiano and captioned it by saying, "No more free food." Now the bigger question is, will the fans still be as excited for Foogiano's music in 2026?
Foogiano just touched back down after 5 years locked away. And this return, it didn't go how anyone thought it would at all. No Gucci Mane waiting outside, no luxury car lined up, no big industry rollout, nothing flashy at all. Just a quiet post on a producer's Instagram story with a short caption saying, "No more free food." And that was it. That was the entire welcome home moment for someone Gucci once called one of the only artists worth keeping on 1017. Now that Foogiano is back outside, talk is already moving fast, that he's not even standing with Gucci anymore. And here's where things start getting messy. Word going around is that Foogiano feels like Gucci didn't send him any support while he was locked up. Not a dollar, not a check-in, nothing. And if that's even halfway true, that changes the whole picture. This isn't just gossip anymore. This is starting to look like a full breakdown of what used to be a tight situation. So yeah, we gotta really unpack this, because Foogiano coming home right now isn't just another release story. It might be the moment that fully exposes what's been going on behind 1017 for years. To understand why this hits different, you gotta know who Foogiano really was to that label before everything flipped.
I think we need to pray for Gucci Mane because Foogiano just got out of prison. If y'all ain't know, he was locked up for 5 years, all because he violated his probation. And if y'all ain't know, he still signed the Gucci Mane 1017 label. Him and Pooh Shiesty the last ones left that's on the label because Gucci Mane dropped all his other artists after losing money. But after seeing what happened with the Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty situation, Foogiano might want to leave the label as well, but hopefully he don't try to do it the same way Pooh Shiesty did, because they say he might be in jail for a long time after what he did to Gucci. But it gotta be picture week in prison because everybody decided to drop pictures. Here go an updated picture of No Limit Cairo. They say he's set to be released in 2027. We also got an updated picture for No Limit Mally, and he's set to be released in 2043. Y'all see the New York people decide to drop some pictures too. But y'all see Chef G on different timing. He had his girlfriend come see him while he locked up. Also, this New York rapper decided to post his pictures as well.
Born Kwame Khalil Brown, coming out of Augusta, Georgia, he wasn't Atlanta born, but his sound? Straight Atlanta energy. His music had that raw mix of street vibes and club bounce, the type you hear blasting in cars and inside packed parties on the same night. Before Gucci even noticed him, Foogiano was grinding on his own, dropping tapes, building buzz, putting his name out there step by step. Then in 2020, Gucci Mane brought him into 1017 and lined up distribution through Atlantic Records. And at that moment, it looked like everything was about to level up. He had just dropped his debut project, Gutta Baby, and people were paying attention. He wasn't just another artist on the roster, he was one of the main pieces. Around 26 or 27 years old, still early in the game, and backed by someone like Gucci. That cosign meant everything. But almost right after that, everything started going left. In 2021, Foogiano got picked up in Memphis on a serious charge tied to having a firearm as a convicted felon. He managed to get out on bond, but then things took an even crazier turn. Reports say he removed his ankle monitor and disappeared for about 3 months before getting caught again. 3 months on the run. That alone tells you where his mindset was at the time. This wasn't someone focused on music deals or building a career. This was straight instinct, moving off survival energy. And that decision ended up costing him big. That situation led to a 5-year sentence.
Gucci Mane's 1017 artist, Foogiano, has been released from prison after serving 5 years behind them walls for having a steal while being a convicted felon. Foogiano is one of the 2 artists that Gucci Mane said that he will keep under the 1017 label after he decided to sign a whole bunch of artists and had no luck.
I wanted to make this announcement on 1017 yesterday, but I just seen like my statement, my P&L with all my artists. You know, it's almost like a whole bunch of shakeup and it's a whole show in the industry right now. But when I look at my P&L and me being a businessman, I think that I'm gonna have to release almost all my artists except for Pooh Shiesty and Foogiano. This is a decision I didn't want to make. I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? I could keep all of them under the contract. But I said, hey, let's just make the unselfish decision and, let them take their talents elsewhere.
No quick way out, no second chances in that moment. Just like that, one of 1017's brightest names was gone before he could even drop another major project. And that brings up the question people are asking louder now than ever. Where was Gucci Mane during all of this? Now, before jumping too far ahead, it's important to look at what 1017 was supposed to be when it got rebranded in 2020. Gucci introduced a whole new lineup. Big Scarr, Foogiano, Pooh Shiesty, Hot Boy Wes, K Shade, Enchanting, and more. On paper, it looked like a full movement ready to take over.
Crazier enough, Foogiano and Pooh Shiesty were both behind bars at the same time. And although Gucci Mane put Pooh Shiesty behind those bars by cooperating with authorities and letting him know that Pooh Shiesty was actually the man that allegedly robbed him, it seems like Gucci Mane is super excited like he was for Pooh Shiesty when he came home for Foogiano. Gucci Mane took it to his story to post a picture of Foogiano and captioned it by saying, "No more free food." Now, the bigger question is, will the fans still be as excited for Foogiano's music in 2026 after him being locked up for 5 years? I would also say that it wasn't the smartest decision by Gucci Mane to put Pooh Shiesty behind bars, because at the end of the day, that was Gucci Mane's biggest artist. And I think that Gucci Mane cooperating with authorities to put Pooh Shiesty behind bars was way worse than just letting him be in the free world and continue to make you money.
Gucci was in position as the veteran, the one guiding the next wave, building something solid for the future. But what followed over the next few years, it wasn't just setbacks, it was straight chaos. Enchanting passed away in 2022. Big Scarr in 2024, both situations tied to overdoses. That's already 2 major losses that hit the label hard. Then you got Hot Boy Wes facing a long prison sentence connected to multiple serious charges. Matt Critter caught up in a major case. Pooh Shiesty dealing with federal time. And Foogiano already gone at that point. Piece by piece, the roster started falling apart. Some gone, some locked up, some dealing with situations that stopped everything. By late 2024, things were looking completely different. Gucci Mane even went online and made a move that shocked a lot of people. Sitting in his car, he basically announced he was letting multiple artists go from the label. He explained that after looking at the numbers, it just wasn't making sense to keep things how they were. In simple terms, the business side wasn't adding up. In the music industry, labels invest heavy, studio time, promotion, features, videos, and if the returns don't come back, it becomes a problem. So from his side, it looked like a business decision. But here's the part people keep debating. Gucci said he reached out to the artists and their teams before going public with it. Some see that as respectful, handling things properly behind the scenes. But others, they looking at it like, if that bond was really solid, would it even get to that point in the first place? And now with Foogiano back outside, all those questions are hitting even harder. If things were really solid behind the scenes, that kind of announcement wouldn't even hit Instagram first. It would have been a call, a sit down, a real conversation, face to face. You build a plan, map out the next move, show some unity. But instead, it went straight to social media, and that told people everything they needed to know. 1017 started looking less like a family and more like straight business, and the artists felt that shift. One former artist, Lil Jeremy, even went live and made it clear he actually wanted out. He sounded relieved. Think about that for a second. Happy to be released from the label that was supposed to elevate him. That alone says a lot about the energy behind the scenes. From the outside, it looked powerful, but from the inside, it clearly felt different. Now here's another key detail. When Gucci cleaned house, he only held on to 2 names, Pooh Shiesty and Foogiano, both locked up at the time. And from a business angle, that move made sense. Those were the artists bringing in numbers, building fan bases, creating momentum before everything paused. On paper, it was simple. Keep the strongest assets. Let the rest go. But fast forward to April 2026, and now Foogiano is free. So what happens next? Nothing. No big return moment, no industry buzz, no label push. Just that same quiet image floating around online. Foogiano smiling, showing off his iced-out grill. Captioned, "No more free Foogiano." That's it? After 5 years gone, that was the entire moment. And you gotta compare that to how things usually go. When artists come home, there's energy. People pull up, studios open up, labels show love. Even smaller artists get some kind of welcome back. A dinner, a session, something that says, "We still here with you." That's normal. But this felt different. The internet noticed immediately. People started saying things like, his first meeting might just be a Zoom call, or that it's not even the best time to be tied to that label anymore. And honestly, the silence was louder than anything else. Then things got even deeper. A blog report started circulating, claiming Foogiano had already made his position clear. According to what's being said, he's not planning to work with Gucci Mane moving forward. And the reason? He feels like he got no support while he was locked up. No money sent, no help, nothing. Now look, that's a serious claim. Because in both street culture and the music industry, there's an unspoken code. If someone is tied to you and ends up sitting down for years, especially during their active run, you're expected to look out for them. That doesn't mean anything extra. That's just the baseline expectation. And if Foogiano really feels like that didn't happen, then that explains everything about why things feel off right now. But here's where it gets even more interesting. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, this doesn't feel like a one-time issue. It starts looking like a pattern. Take Pooh Shiesty, for example. Same label, same era, similar situation. He got sentenced in 2022 and ended up coming home in late 2025. And when he stepped back out, again, no big label moment, no major rollout attached to 1017. He moved on his own timing. Then reports started spreading that he was exploring other opportunities. Even talks of linking with Yo Gotti's CMG. That already showed things weren't fully locked in anymore. Then, January 2026 added even more tension to the situation. Federal prosecutors brought serious accusations involving Pooh Shiesty and others tied to a situation at a Dallas studio. According to those claims, it all stemmed from a disagreement connected to contract discussions. What was supposed to be a business meeting reportedly turned into something way more intense. Now, it's important to keep this clear. These are allegations, not confirmed facts. But the story itself shook everything up because it painted a picture of just how far things may have escalated behind the scenes. And there's more. Legal voices connected to the situation claimed that while Pooh Shiesty was locked up, his music was still generating major money. We're talking millions. At the same time, the claim is that he wasn't seeing proper compensation or movement on his contract situation. Again, these are claims being discussed, but they added fuel to the conversation. Now connect all the dots. Pooh Shiesty comes home and reportedly feels disconnected from the label. Things escalate. Foogiano comes home and right away there's talk he's not aligned with Gucci anymore. Same pattern, same energy. That's not something people can just ignore. And when you look at where Gucci Mane stands right now, it's a complicated spot. Nobody can take away what he's done for Atlanta music. He helped shape an entire era, put major names on the map, built a legacy that's locked in forever. But this current chapter with 1017, that's a whole different conversation. Since the 2020 reboot, things haven't gone how anyone expected. Losses, legal situations, careers paused, and now a roster that's almost unrecognizable from what it once was. At one point, it looked like a movement ready to take over. Now it feels like everything got chipped away piece by piece. And with Foogiano stepping back into the spotlight with no real backing moment, it just raises even more questions about what's really going on behind that label. And now the word floating around is that Foogiano is already creating distance? If that's true, then what's even left of 1017 at this point? Technically, Foogiano could still be tied to the contract. But if Pooh Shiesty is dealing with serious federal issues and Foogiano isn't trying to work with Gucci, then the label as a real artist-building machine looks empty. And deep down, Gucci has to see that too. You can even tell he's already thinking ahead. Back in 2024, He started teasing a whole new direction with "So Icy Millionaires," showing off stacks of cash and talking about investing in the next superstar. That wasn't random. That looked like someone preparing for the next chapter. Because let's be honest, the version of 1017 people knew, that era looks finished. So now the real question is, where does Foogiano go from here? This part matters more than all the drama. Foogiano is 32 years old now. He just spent 5 years locked up, meaning he missed a huge shift in the music world. Streaming got bigger, new artists took over, trends changed, and entire waves came and went. He walked in during one era and stepped out into a completely different one. That's not an easy adjustment for anyone, but here's the thing. He's not starting from zero. Foogiano still has real leverage. First off, the fan base is there. People have been saying, "Free Foogiano" for years. That kind of support doesn't just disappear. When artists come home after time away, there's usually a built-in buzz. People are ready to hear what they've got. If he plays this right, that momentum could hit fast. Second, his sound still works. That mix of street energy and club-ready music doesn't expire. It's always in demand. All he really needs to do is update his style a bit, tap into the current wave, and get back recording. The lane is still open for him. Now let's talk about the contract situation, because this is where strategy matters the most. If there really is tension and Foogiano wants out, the smart move isn't reacting emotionally. It's going the legal route. That means bringing in professionals, attorneys, accountants, people who can break everything down properly. Every dollar tied to his music while he was locked up can be reviewed. Streams, placements, features, all of it. If anything wasn't handled correctly, that can open the door to renegotiation or even exiting the deal completely. Situations like that happen more often than people think. And this is important. The worst move right now would be making things personal or escalating the situation. That path doesn't fix anything. It just creates bigger problems. The smarter approach is patience, letting the situation play out and using the spotlight to his advantage. Because honestly, the story is already speaking for itself. No big return rollout, no visible support during his time away, and a clear difference between how things were talked about publicly versus how they actually played out. People are noticing all of that without him even saying a word. Sometimes silence is power. And when you zoom out, this situation is way bigger than just Foogiano and Gucci Mane. This is about how the music business really works when things get complicated. 1017 has a long history. Back in the day, Gucci helped bring up major names and played a huge role in shaping Atlanta's sound. That impact is real and can't be denied. But at the same time, there's always been questions about how things were handled behind the scenes. Artists rising fast, then running into issues, contracts getting messy, situations turning complicated, and the 2020 to 2026 run, that feels like everything happening at once. Losses, legal problems, careers put on pause, and a roster that slowly disappeared piece by piece. When you look at it all together, it raises serious questions about the structure and support system that was in place. Now you've got Foogiano stepping back into the spotlight after years away, with reports saying he didn't feel supported and choosing to stay quiet while the internet does all the talking. That silence right now, it's building curiosity, attention, and pressure all at once. Things really hit another level when Gucci Mane dropped Crash Dummy. A lot of listeners instantly connected the lyrics to everything that's been going on. In the track, he talks about someone going out like a real crash dummy and still being signed to him after everything. That line alone had people reacting fast, questioning who it was aimed at and what it really meant. Even voices in the culture started weighing in. Some were saying it didn't sit right hearing that tone after everything Gucci built his image on. Because let's be real, his whole brand came from that street credibility. Now he's in a situation where he's seen as the one dealing with issues involving his own artist. That's not something the culture processes easily. And look at the timing of all this. Right when Pooh Shiesty is dealing with serious legal trouble, Foogiano steps back into the spotlight. So he's walking into a situation where his label is already under pressure, where diss tracks are dropping, and where the structure around him isn't even the same anymore. That's not a smooth comeback. That's stepping into chaos. So now the big question everybody's asking is simple. What does Foogiano sound like in 2026? He left with momentum, a strong fan base, and a major cosign. But now, everything has changed. The industry moved forward, and now it's on him to prove where he fits in this new space. And even bigger than that, who does he align with next? Does he try to fix things with 1017? Does he take the legal route and find a way out? Or does he go fully independent and let the fans decide his path? Those choices right there could shape his entire future. At the end of the day, Gucci Mane's legacy is still solid. He helped build a whole sound and put major talent on the map. That part is locked in. But what's happening with 1017 right now? That's a different story. It's turning into a lesson about loyalty, business, and what happens when things don't line up the way people expect. Now it's all on Foogiano. He's got a second shot, a strong fan base, and real attention on his name again. What he does next could be one of the biggest moves in the scene this year. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. And don't leave just yet. Check out the next video on your screen for even more celebrity drama. Catch you in the next one.